How's it, guys? It's Uncle Cedric here, and so about a week or two ago, I had a different passenger in my car, the mayor of Cape Town, and we just chatted in general. And I think for the sake of fairness, for the sake of unbiasedness, I was invited to invite another person, another leader of a party. Because my interactions with leaders of parties has not been favorable in the last couple of weeks. So yeah, I decided to speak to the leader of the ARA, which
ARA.
is ARA, yes, people know it, the pink party.
No, the Cerise party.
Is it Cerise? It's not pink. I mustn't get it wrong.
You must say
Cerise. Pink is for insulation, you say. Pink.
No. You know when we say Cerise, it's not Cerise. Cerise. I heard this in Durban.
Cerise. Okay.
Not Cerise.
Okay.
Cerise is a woman. Cerise.
I'll take it. So I know very little about your party. How new are you guys? When did you guys start?
We started in 2022. Beginning of 2022,
Okay.
end of 2021, like literally the end of 2021.
Yeah.
And we started the party because we saw the problems in the community. Now, you know, my background is that I am a pastor.
Yes.
And
But I see also they refer to you as doctor.
Yes, doctor as well. So,
Okay.
So my doctor there, you know, almost like I went on Cape Talk, it's almost like they gave me a CV. My CV was, I was interviewing my CV. They didn't.
You did?
Yeah, they didn't ask the guy. They didn't ask Steenhuisen. They don't ask, you know, Steenhuisen. There's a character that one. That's a funny guy. You don't mind if I criticize the guys? But, you know,
No, I don't. I think let's
Yeah.
make this another episode of Get It Off Your Chest. You can say whatever you want.
Yeah,
Get it
no,
off your chest.
I think I call him Rusty with his teeth.
Okay,
You know,
okay.
I don't know that guy brushes his teeth. But I mean, people like this don't have a qualification. They just regurgitate what they hear from the guys. You know, they just like you know they. I think you look at Steenhuisen, you look at Windy. Windy got matric, and it's just like the wind. You know, the guy's a liar, compulsive liar. So. But I got into this because as a pastor, I saw the need. We used to pray for people. I don't know if you believe in miracles.
I do believe in miracles.
Yeah.
I met my wife.
No,
That's proof it's a
big
miracle.
That's
Yeah,
a major miracle.
100% she married this. So obviously miracles happen.
I hope your wife is watching this.
My wife, yeah, no, for sure, she knows.
Yeah. Then you pray for people. You know, they get healed and so forth. You pray for the guys. The guy's drugged, is a drunkard, is set free, and alcohol. And we got a lot of alcoholics that's been set free from the stuff instantly. Then they go back into an environment. And the environment is not conducive. They go into an environment that is partly created by the politics of our day. And let me say to you that the DA in Western Cape, okay, just before I tell you that, and that's why I got involved, because you cannot see somebody go into a house, they're praying for a house, they're praying for food, the guy's struggling for a job, and some get jobs and so forth, but you send them back into an environment that's not conducive for their livelihood. And that's why I got into government, because you can't have crooks running government. These guys steal money, they mess up the economy, they got no idea what they're doing, and that's really the bottom line why I got involved.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you saw a need.
Yeah, we saw a need across the country, besides Western Cape, I mean, the whole nation. You got massive problems. You got the DA problem, you got the ANC problem, you got the EFF problem, complete whack jobs.
Are you national?
We're national.
Okay.
We're national. So I just came back now. I was yesterday. I came to Cape Town, but the day before I was in Limpopo.
Okay. I saw there was some. There was a possible voter fraud in Limpopo already.
Cause then,
It's like 24 cases out of the 37.
Oh yeah,
And it was concentrated in Limpopo.
No, I wouldn't not believe it. I can tell you why. I drove up to Limpopo. I saw about 50 trucks, department trucks. What do you call this? What do you call it?
Government trucks.
ID cards.
Oh yeah.
50 traffic cops.
Home
Office. Giving them IDs. Now, if you tell me this, a few days before the election, you got 50 trucks, with each truck probably got about 30,000 IDs in. Where they're going to, whom they're giving it to. You can't give that to, if you 30 times 50, what is 150,000? IDs. Who you giving 1.5 million IDs? Who you giving that to? That you giving it to Mozambicans, you giving that to Zimbabweans coming over, and the borders are close by. That's the issue there. So you already got voted for. We already are behind with 800. This is the type of government we must remove.
Okay. So if, and guys, please correct me if I'm wrong. I could be wrong. This is just me, right?
Yeah.
The DA is saying we did a good job. Help us continue to do a good job, right?
Yeah.
The Cape Colour Congress is saying, or NCC, whatever. And please, guys, if I'm wrong, correct me. I don't mind. They're saying
I'll
that.
correct you now.
I'm saying they're saying the coloured people needs a representation because there's been very little change on places like the Cape Flats and all that. The PA is also saying like a very similar story, and I'm talking now just as a citizen. What does ARA say?
ARA say DA has done a pathetic job.
Okay.
I'll tell you why. Number one, DA is the people that have actual fact that has maintained gangsterism in the Cape Flats. They've actually maintained it. I can give you 3 reasons or 7 reasons why. Number two, if you go to Mpumalanga, you go to Limpopo, you go to places like Northwest, there is no squatter camps. There is no squatter camps. It's shocking. No squatter camps.
In the Northwest?
Yeah, nothing. The people don't work. I mean, the infrastructure is bad, but don't get squatter camps. But Mpumalanga, no squatter camps. You know, I saw the houses. They got no roads. The infrastructure is bad, but the houses. You take the house that I see in Mpumalanga and you put it in Constantia, it's probably worth about 15 million. The same thing.
Yeah.
It's shocking. I thought, you know, where do the people get money to put pillars? I mean, a lot of the houses got pillars.
It's a trend, yeah. I've seen it in Durban as well.
Yeah, gable roofs, not flat roofs, gable roofs. So I got an architecture background also. That's what I'm saying, gable roofs.
Okay.
So that's number two. So you are purposely kept into a squatter camp here. We got more than 800 informal settlements. You take 800 times 100 minimum, you got 800,000. We probably got about 1.6 million people not in houses. And that is factual.
Yeah.
Okay. That's
Have you got a solution for that?
Yes.
Because I know
the housing solution is one of the easiest to sort out.
Is it?
Yeah.
What would you say it is?
Without spending money. Now this is a shock. This is without spending money. This is what the DA probably will not do. The DA has got about 1,100 buildings that are empty. City and province has got they got 1,100 buildings that are empty.
In the province?
In the Western Cape.
Okay.
It cost them about 2 billion to maintain these properties, which they really don't maintain. They just actually talk about security. If you put that 1,100 buildings together, you got probably about an average square meter inside, because I'm from an architectural background, you're talking about close to 1 million, say 1.5 million square meters of space. You take your back dwellers, you give them space first. You can accommodate probably about close to 500,000 families.
In those buildings?
In those buildings. You go all around. I mean, you see all the vacant buildings. Now, the city moves out. I mean, Lotus River. Let me mention Lotus River. There was a building inspector's place there. That bricks was stolen away. There's land over there. You talk about buildings in Maitland. Observatory. There's a hospital occupied. The guys want to throw the people out.
Funny enough, I went to watch a soccer game on Saturday.
Yeah.
And I saw what I thought was a hostel next to Somerset Hospital in the waterfront.
Yeah.
And because people's living there, and it turns out those guys has occupied that place.
Yeah.
Do you know about that place?
Not really, but
really?
It could be one of two things. It should be our people occupying the place.
When you say our people, what do you mean?
I mean those that don't have property, those that don't have houses.
So when you say our people, you don't necessarily say colored or blacks or whites.
No, I say brown people.
Okay.
I don't refer to people as colors, because colors is actually a bad insult to us as people. We've been brainwashed to accept that word as colored. When you say even colored Congress, now I don't mean nothing against them. I think they're trying their best. But the word itself started in 1970 by a guy called George Soutzel. He was actually like a German guy, and he started the word colored, and he started the word white, and he started the word black. we were never coloreds. We are, most of us are Khoi, probably 80% of us got Khoi blood. Some of us are Indians or Malay slaves and so forth that came here. So you got a very bad connotation when we talk about color issue. South Africa is very color conscious, but we are not. We're not culture conscious, and we're not tribal conscious. We don't know we don't have identity. We don't know where we come from. And so that was bad. So I say brown people to generalize, but it sounds a bit better. People of color.
Okay.
You know? And that helps you, because when you don't have identity, you have a problem. You're going to fight continuously. You don't have a sense of peace. You don't have a sense of self-will. You're gonna fight because you don't have a sense of belonging, and that's what I say about color. But when you come to Cape Town, when it comes to the DA, that's total housing is the second thing. The third thing is that feces that is not working in Western Cape. So they've contributed to the housing issue. They've contributed to the sewage issue, infrastructure issue. I mean, can you imagine? We're launching a case now where we're going to sue DA for 5 billion for kicking people out of houses. You know, there was in Lavendale, there was a guy, he just died. The grandfather died. He also had grandchildren in the house. The day of his burial, the law enforcement came and chucked all his belongings out on a heap outside, the furniture out, and closed the door. We, as ARA, said, go to that place and open the door again. Somebody can evict you like this without a court order, without a civil case. They cannot do it. And the DA has been doing this all over. I mean, Goodwood. You talk about Lotus River, you talk about Lavendale, you talk about Steamer, then they chuck the people out. And you ask them why. The DA council has promised their voters a place to stay.
Wow. So how do they differentiate between their voters and non-voters?
No, this is the thing. They come to their friends. They have their friends, and they tell their friends, I'm going to get you a house. How does the DA know? How does the law enforcement know that the person just died? Who told them? It is the community that knows it. It's the DA members that knows it. So they're an accomplice to the destruction of the brown people in South Africa. They're destruction of our communities, purposely destruct our communities. And the fourth thing, it is not the DA. You know, how can you have a nation or a province where we are number one? We are the number one province in South Africa with the highest crime, and you tell us you're the best run. We got the most. 3 of our police stations are on the highest, on the top 10 list in the world. Cape Town is next to Mexico in crime. Now you tell me, they say it's a well-run province. This is what they sell to everybody. If it's a well-run province, why they messed up Swane? They messed up Gauteng. They messed up Durban. I mean, the one guy gave his boyfriend a tender. What's his name? Poppy Duffless. Poppy Duffless. I call him Popeye. This is the level of stupidity we have in the Western Cape. And we as brown people, we suck these things up. That's 4 things, okay? so gangsterism is allowed in the Western Cape. They allow the gangsterism. You got top officials that have gangster leaders numbers on them. Whoever votes for the DA on the 29th, I can tell you, has committed a big sin against their own people. They've actually estranged, or they've bound their own people. So I'm very sad to see this. Again. But actually, fact, we got 47% is brown people, or colored women say brown people. 37% is black. We got something like less than 10% that is white that's controlling this Cape. That's the problem you have. You cannot have that's a racial problem. It's a racial problem as well, a racial problem, because it's not possible. You cannot do that. How is it possible? The streets is clean. I can tell you why the streets are clean. Because the brown guy cleans the streets. He is loyal. He is patriotic to his own community. You go to where is it now? Where is that beach place where that Musenberg? Our aunties are cleaning the places. They clean the streets. They clean the restaurants. You go to Blauberg, it's our people driving buses. our guys stand up. I mean, I'm looking at all the brown guys driving vans and doing work. All the colored people work. We are cleaning this place. Do you know why? Because we know the land belongs to us. You go to Blauberg, you go to Musenberg now, right now. You got 24-year-olds sitting there and drinking coffee and eating lunch all day. 26-year-olds, 27-year-olds. Our aunties that are aged 20, 40, 50, 60 are the ones cleaning the street. You won't find a white person cleaning the garden in somebody else's house. Why not? You will never ask in Cape Town, you ask any white guy to come and clean your street. You will not do it. Because they're a bunch of lazy, prideful people. And then you got the DA running the Western Cape. So am I angry? I'm not. I'm angry at the Brown that allow it. And I can tell you the vote is coming now. This vote is going to be manipulated. Because the IAC is controlled by Tony Leon. I'll say it openly. The DA runs the IAC here, and the ANC runs the IAC in all other provinces. So people don't know this stuff.
Get it over your chest. That's what I say. Get it over your chest.
People don't know this stuff. I mean, we don't know what's really happening inside. You know, like Helen Zille is the founder of Open Society. You know what's Open Society?
No.
Open Society is started by the guy called George Soros. Open Society pushes the Bella Bill. The Bella Bill tells a child at 3, 5 years old, or 5 years old, 6 years old, they can play themselves sexually and tell them if they're all how sexually active they are and what they feel in their arousement. They can decide if 5, 6 years old are they going to be a male or a female. And the Bella Bill is driven or aimed at pedophiling. Because a child that is 7, 8 years old can get sexually involved. Now will get actual. You're going to get a law passed that a child will get involved sexually at the age of 8. The law now is at the age of 14. This is the same people. This is your Helen Zille. They're on the board. They're actually in fact pushing.
Are you talking about the age of consent?
Age of consent is going to change. Age of consent of sex, ne? Is
I
now
know
14 years old.
I know it's 16. I think now. Is it 16 or 14?
It's 14. It's 14
wow.
years old.
Okay.
Imagine they can have sex. Oh, even abortion. Ne? They don't. The ballot bill says you don't need to ask your parents, ne? At 14 years old to have an abortion. But the child to have a driver's license needs to go for an exam and test. You cannot even get an ID at the age of 14. But don't we think that sexual promiscuity or abortion is even heavier than getting an ID card? I mean, the damage you cause to yourself. So that's that group.
And that's something that you'll be fighting.
You know, that's something we're going to remove completely.
Okay.
The parents must get involved. And so again, to the local community, you know, it's sad because I see how a guy suffers. How people are in prison. You go now to prison, you'll find just mainly men, brown guys, colored guys in jail. And they come out, they look for work. These guys are trying to. Prison is not a place of rehabilitation. You can't. There's certain people you can't rehabilitate. There's different categories of crimes. The worst guys you must send. They must actually fact to become a convict now. A prison is actually a joy because we spend about 800 on them per day, and they're not a benefit for society. But in saying that, the same guys are wanting to work for South Africa, work in the country, and they should be given jobs. They should go and work on the border. They should go do hard tasks because they want to look after South Africa. Those have been rehabilitated. That's just not a prison issue. But again, in Western Cape, we got a crisis. We got a job crisis. You know, Alan Windy said they created jobs. That was a big joke. I'm looking at them and I think that guy got a problem. I think he got an alcoholic problem.
Who? Who's that?
He didn't shake all the time. I see. You know, I don't know. I never met the guy, but he mustn't get upset with me when I meet him. Yeah, but we got a big problem when it comes to when it comes to jobs.
Yeah.
In Western Cape. So the DA claims they've created 350,000 jobs. Number one, they can't quantify. Number two, they can't tell you what industry it has been formed. And the guys lie. I mean, they use a colored guy to lie for them, which is now standing as the second in charge as premier candidate. and we're not having jobs. They have this other jobs called, I mean, I don't want to mention, it's like a swear word to me, EWP, EPWC. It's I give you a contract for somebody to clean the street for 2 months, 3 months. Do you know it's so bad in Northern Cape? They do jobs EWP. People actually go on pension afterwards on their jobs. That's how bad it is. So I've been everywhere. Most all the provinces, 90% of all municipalities, and that's bad. I see a post here of Reismazan. Yeah, this guy's an editor, by the way. He was sitting in the newsroom and they offered him money to run for politics. Paid by Rebecca Oppenheimer.
Okay.
The three, you've got 3 granddaughters, that's 4 granddaughters on funding. Then the guys put up all these posters. These guys they cannot run their own business. And then the guy talks, and the South Africans jump for this nonsense. The guy talks absolute nonsense. The whole team with him combined. I don't even know what all this stuff.
Yeah, no, you really said a mouthful. You really got some off your chest. So what is your plan for Wednesday? And what is your plan after Wednesday? What do you foresee as your result? And then what will be your way forward after Wednesday?
Wednesday, we expect Western Cape. I expect something between 300,000 to 600,000 vote.
Okay, what does that translate into seats?
That translates into about almost if it's 600,000, you're 250,000 a seat. That's almost like 12 seats.
Okay. Oh, so you need 50,000 votes in order to get one seat.
50,000 votes.
Okay.
So it also depends on the amount of people that come and vote.
Okay.
Okay. And it also contributes into the national vote as well.
Yeah.
National vote you're going to need more. Sorry, you're going to probably need a bit less. So that will help with national vote. So we probably will sit with about from Western Cape, probably 6 on national.
Okay.
So nationally we're expecting about 12
seats.
Our aim is 20 seats.
Okay.
Our aim is actually a national million vote. And this is our start. This has only been our start phase. And we can get that. We can at least start pushing, pressurizing, calling out the guys. Because the guys do not have the wit for the job. They're not smart people. They really are. They're not smart. The guys sign a bill that they never wrote the bill. You ask them who wrote the bill. I don't know if you know this bill called the POCA bill, POCA.
No.
POCU. Prevention of criminal activities. This bill is supposed to work against gangsterism, money laundering, criminal activities.
Yeah.
That bill is so weak. So if you're a gangster and you committed some criminal activity, you go to jail for about 3 to 5 years. The guy killed somebody, 10 years. Life sentence is 25 years. The bill is so weak. If you say, when ARA comes in, if you say you belong to a gangster, because that's the intention, you should be locked up. Your family should be kept accountable because they'll be accomplice.
Is that similar to what they did in Venezuela?
Yeah, could be in Venezuela. So Venezuela was bad, by the way.
Yeah, Venezuela turned it around.
They turned it around.
Yeah.
They turned it big time around. You're going to start from the top down. The first person that must be locked up is Cyril, right?
Yeah.
Cyril is the biggest crook you can find. Cyril, can you imagine the most unequal society in the world? The woman that finds in the most unequal. I'll start like this. If you steal a bread at a shop, you'll get six months in prison, till 6 years in prison for stealing a bread. Cyril that steals $6 million gets free, gets off the hook in his couch, by the way. We don't know if it was in his couch.
Or mattress.
Mattress. We don't know if it was a cash in the vault, but it's in his couch. Then the maid that finds the money is locked up. That's how unequal the society. Cyril right now starts a war in Sudan. People don't know this one. He starts a war in Sudan to protect his oil investment, and he sells the oil back to South Africa.
Sure.
Then he used the SA security, the SADF to protect and keep stability, because he has a project. They invested about 20 billion in the project. All right. And guess who's in charge of the whole project? Radebe, his brother-in-law. That's the type of people you got. Then they tell us state capture for Zuma. Actually, Zuma's not he's old now, but actually, it's a shame for Zuma. You know, at least Zuma built houses for people in the Northern Cape. At least Zuma, with all his craziness, done some things. This guy done absolutely nothing. Do you know he made 13? No, how many promises? I think about 21 promises. Not one of his promises came to pass. Not one. You cannot tell me one thing. I think you went to ports. I heard something. Got in the place of ports. Do you know that your ports is going to be the rights of your ports right now? Do you know that the port of Durban is controlled by the Filipinos? Do you know they got a 25-year lease on it?
Yeah, I heard something like that.
Yeah, that's a fact. They had a cutting the ribbon.
Sure.
It's going to happen in Cape Town as well. So that means that all the food, all the imports, all the exports, all the chicken, they're going to get a percentage on it.
So in closing, what would you say? What would the last thing be that you would say for people that is undecided for Wednesday?
If you're undecided, vote for people that have actually done something in the community. ARA have done fixed houses, brought water to people's taps, built houses, done roofs. We're feeding thousands right now as we speak. You'd rather vote for a party that actually done good, and then they can prove themselves wrong, instead of voting for a party that done bad and continue to do bad. And the second thing is that if you're going to want to make a change, you cannot vote for the same people for another 5 years. You cannot have the same people involved. You can have the same problem. If you want to have change, have a different vote. And right now, the ANC knows the game. They play the game. They're getting food parcels out. They're going to buy the vote. And people that actually take and vote ANC, you deserve the issue you're going to be in. DA, if you vote DA, you deserve the problems you're going to have. You deserve it. No, that's a fact. Don't complain, don't cry about it.
There you have it, guys. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Get It Off Your Chest. I had the leader of ARA, the ARA party.
Yeah.
What does it stand for?
Africa Restoration Alliance.
Okay, there you have it, guys.
Africa
Got a few things
Restoration
off his chest. Maybe you would learn something. I definitely learned something that I didn't know. And make a right choice on Wednesday. Thank you for joining me.
Yes,
Thanks for imparting some of your knowledge.
Thanks for the drive.
Yeah, it was a lekker drive. And yeah, guys, stay tuned for more episodes like this. After Wednesday, there will be no more political content. It will all be probably general stuff. But for now, we try to keep our pulse on what's happening. And thanks for joining.